welcome to Legal Affairs. My name is Diamond Liddy, and I'm the public defender for the 19th Judicial Circuit. We are going to kick off the new year with a very sad but very exciting story, and talk about a great foundation that's been formed, about a cause that until now I was really not familiar with. And I want to welcome Ramon, also known as Ray, Lallo, and Cheryl to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, let's start with the basics. You have formed a foundation now, and then we're going to get into all the nuances and what it's about and what it is, etc. Your foundation is called, Cheryl?
The Jessica Clinton MVP Foundation.
When MVP stands for?
Mitral Valve Prolapse, or sometimes we say most important person.
Yeah, very important person.
Very important.
And it is a foundation that was formed, what, 12 years ago?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with the basics. You both are married, and you have, and I didn't ask you before the show, do you have any children other than your daughter?
Yes, we have two other daughters.
Okay. Oh, all girls.
And yes, two more daughters and two grandchildren.
Oh, goodness. Okay. And their ages?
Well, Lauren is 28, and then we have Rachel, who's 24, and Kalina Jessica is 11. She's our granddaughter, and Maddox is 3.
Okay. And you had a daughter, Jessica.
Right.
And she was, where was she? She was going to school locally, was she not?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she went to school at Centennial High School in Port St. Lucie.
Okay. I understand, a cheerleader, great grades, the whole business.
Yeah.
Tell us the story and why this foundation was formed.
Well, Jessica was always very involved in the community. She was, captain of the cheerleading squad. She was homecoming queen. She was president of student council. She was dual enrolled in college. In fact, when she would have finished her high school, she would have had 2 years already done in college. She was very motivated. And then one day during cheerleading practice, she went to get a drink of water and all of a sudden went into sudden cardiac arrest. Later we found out that she had an undiagnosed heart defect called mitral valve prolapse, and 18% of all women have it, but hers was very severe, and we lost her that day. When we were at the hospital, first thing the doctor said to us was, didn't the school have an AED?
And what is that?
It's a, I'll let Ray do the technical part of it.
It's called an automatic external defibrillator. It's a portable device that, in the case of when the heart goes into sudden cardiac arrest, which basically means it stops beating,
right.
It provides an electrical charge to the heart to restart the heart.
Okay. And the school didn't have it?
At that time, we weren't even sure what one was.
Right. I mean, we're not not blaming anyone, but I mean, there wasn't one available.
Not at the schools, but then we found out that they're everywhere else. They're in, airports. They're in federal buildings.
Right.
They're even in prisons. So we were like, how come there aren't any in schools?
And thus the reason for the foundation, and we'll get into that for a moment. So she was, I guess, did she have the heart attack? Did you have any indication prior to this?
No, we really didn't have any indication that she had any kind of a heart condition.
Right.
She had been for physicals every year. In fact, the year that this happened, she actually had 2 physicals because she was, a cheerleader and she was going to camp. So she had to have a physical for that, and then when she got back to school, before she started activities again, they had to give her another physical. The only thing that she's ever mentioned to us is she had back pains, and they kind of referred us to an orthopedic specialist, And basically all they told us was that, you know, she's a tall girl, she does cheerleading, puts a lot of strain on her body, so that's
Oh,
probably
which
the
makes
reason.
total
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
I mean, there's
yeah.
nothing, oh my
But they never
goodness.
linked the two together, and, you know, in our findings, we find that a lot of women experience heart ailments, like, through different areas of their body, especially the back. So there's a good possibility that was an indicator, but we wouldn't have known that.
Oh, no. And what, you said, Cheryl, 18% of women have this mitral valve prolapse?
Yeah.
Does it usually end in death?
Not usually, no. It's actually kind of rare that it does.
So women are diagnosed with MVP because they have some issues, and then what happens? Do they have to have open heart surgery? Do they go
no.
on medicine?
No, well, it depends on the severity. Most of the times it's just, you just have to kind of, you know, watch what you eat, you know, watch how much strain you put on your body, you know, as far as
Right.
exercising and so forth. You have to be careful, like, to avoid getting infections and things like that. You know, caffeine intake, things, you know, of that nature. But most cases, it's a minor ailment, and, you know, it's basically what happens is there's the mitral valve itself. They call it floppy valve, so it kind of it opens and closes, and sometimes it doesn't close all the way, and it creates that little clicking sound in your heart. And that's how they usually detect it through a stethoscope.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay, so if they listen to your heart, and oftentimes they can hear the prolapse.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
in a lot of
time,
cases.
yeah.
That
Oh,
you'll hear like a clicking.
And no one heard it in your daughters, even though.
Nope.
And
well, it
she
was,
had multiple physicals, like he said. The last, right before she passed away, she had 2 within 4 months.
Oh my goodness.
So, and they were supposed, you know, they were sports physicals.
Right. So they were
Yeah.
pretty thorough.
Yeah, and
Wow.
she,
Wow.
and she had the same
Yeah.
pediatrician for 17 years. But,
Right.
But that's as far as children's physicals. You know, when a child, Jessica was 5'10", blonde, green-eyed. So when you walked in, she looked healthy. She looked great.
Right,
So they
right.
don't look for that. You know,
Yeah, sure.
if I was to go into a doctor's office, first thing they would do would really listen to my heart and do probably an EKG.
Right. Right. Do your other 2 daughters or grandchildren have any issues or no?
Well,
We found out that our middle daughter, actually, we found out just a couple of days prior to Jessica's passing, that she had a very minor case of mitral valve.
yeah.
And, you know, that the story always kind of takes a twist there because she was a cross-country runner, so she complained.
Oh my goodness.
She complained to her coach that her chest hurt. And so,
Yeah.
you know, we called and basically was told that, you know, it wasn't a big thing, that it would kind of look into it or whatever. But
Right.
I took her to my physician because I wasn't happy. So my physician listened and found it immediately. Within 30 seconds, she heard it. So Lauren, she did an EKG and echo, and they found out on Tuesday that Lauren had a minor mitral valve, and Jessica died on Thursday.
Oh my goodness.
So that kind of, you know, my physician, my personal physician, was very upset because she would have had,
Right.
you know.
Had
and-
the other girls tested.
in fact, when she heard that one of my children had passed away, she thought it was, you know, my other daughter, and she was upset because she said,
Well,
I told her
sure.
not to play.
Yeah. Now, your middle daughter that had the minor MVP. What was she? Just she couldn't do anything
Oh yeah,
anymore.
she was completely cleared.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You know, we
okay,
had
it's-
her tested. I mean, we did everything that, you know, we had great doctors from Miami that helped us, and they completely cleared her. She continued to play soccer. She's very athletic. She's
Oh,
a
I see.
teacher right now.
And she's just careful, I guess.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's just careful. She has to, you know, do the regular things, you know, be careful of how much caffeine she takes in, and be aware that if she starts having any kind of rapid
Chest pain, yeah.
or rapid
And
heart,
if she
you have
has
to-
like any dental,
Yeah.
like major dental work, they may give her an antibiotic.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this tragedy happened. What did you do as a result?
Well, I think we were kind of like on some kind of automatic pilot back at the time because it was a lot of it was like a blur to us. But you know, we formed the foundation. We got together with some people that helped us out,
And the thrust of it is what? To make people more aware of MVP, or to
Well,
make
it's-
sure that there's these.
Well, it's not just MVP. I mean, our focus is not just on mitral
Okay.
valve because there is quite a bit more of, you know, there's a lot more heart conditions that are out there. Our focus is really just to work to have right now is to make sure that kids are tested at an early enough age that they can, you know, stop a situation from happening unnecessarily.
Right.
You know, we started out by giving out, by donating defibrillators and working with, you know, other organizations like the American Heart to try to get bills passed to create a situation where schools had to have AEDs on site,
Right.
which happened in 2006.
You were successful.
Yeah, we were successful in 2006. So
So all schools, public and private,
well,
or
the bill originally started out that all public schools that participated in an athletic program had to have an AED on site.
okay.
And since that time, the bills has been expanded a little bit. So, you know, they've done things like if you're the home team or you're traveling, you're supposed to have a defibrillator with you, type of thing. So it's you know, it's expanded a bit. So a lot more schools now. We actually supplied St. Lucie County with a good majority of the AEDs that they have on site. I think we
great.
started out by.
So the schools in St. Lucie do
Right.
have them.
Oh, yeah,
that's great.
all the schools in St. Lucie have AEDs. And
Great.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
donated between 2 and 5 for every school. I mean, there's still a lot more need for them. There are
Right.
a lot of schools that don't have what they
private
need.
schools.
Right.
You know, we have elementary schools and middle schools that don't have as many as high schools because, you know, high schools have a lot of activities. But, you know,
Right.
we're still a long way from where we need to be.
Right.
And as far as the bill is too, we're a long way from there too.
Yeah.
But
Because they didn't provide any funding for the bill, so,
Oh, well,
you
what-
know.
that happens. Yeah.
And we would have liked-
And you know how the school systems, they're already
Right.
struggling on budgets and so forth, so.
So, okay, so you started the foundation. Well, you were going to flesh it out. It's not just about the mitral.
Yeah, so for the first, probably the first 6, 7 years, we focused on the AEDs and getting in that, and then we started thinking, okay, well, what can we do to help prevent it so they don't need to use the AEDs?
Oh, I
So-
see.
so
Okay.
we started, we consulted a few people, and we started a free heart screening program. So
Oh, wow.
once a year, we do a free heart screening, and we provide free EKGs. We do a physical on the kids, take vitals. We have pediatric cardiologists on site. We have internal medicine doctors on site.
Is this in St. Lucie County? And
We
all?
actually have it at the health department.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The
yeah.
health department lets us take over their complete building, and
Literally,
we do.
yeah.
And we do.
Yeah.
Really?
So-
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. We just had it on November 7th. Was the last screening we did.
And you get the word out to the schools, the public schools, by saying, okay, we were offering this for free. Bring
Right.
your child. That kind of.
Yeah.
Do you have a big response?
We screened, I think, 216 kids.
Wow.
In November. Every year we screen somewhere between 200 and 250 kids.
Gosh, you would think more
Yeah.
people would take advantage
You
of
would
it.
think
but
so. You'd think
Yeah.
so.
You know,
yeah.
we register probably
270.
270, and then
Yeah.
you have people who don't show. But also, you know, with that amount, this is all taking place in 8 hours. So that's 216 kids
Yeah.
that are completely height, weight, blood pressure, EKGs, some
And so we do
echocardiograms.
echocardiograms.
You know, physicians see them and give them a physical. And, we have pediatric cardiologists there to, go over all the testing. So,
it's quite of an event.
Do the doctors donate their time?
Yes.
How does it
Yep.
Really?
Yep. We have some pretty great doctors. And the problem that we have is there's probably a handful of pediatric cardiologists in the entire state of Florida.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I didn't want to. Is there any? Are there any pediatric even in this area?
We don't have any in St. Lucie County.
Wow.
I think the closest one we have is probably in Jupiter. And he actually works out of Miami, so.
Ours come from
yeah,
Miami,
yeah.
West Palm.
Yeah.
They all
Palm
come up
Beach,
for the day.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah.
And so, how do you get? When did you start this? Shortly
About
after you
5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we started the heart screening about 5 years
Well,
ago.
I mean, when did you start the foundation? Right after just?
Right.
Yeah, like
after.
a few months afterwards. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And where do you get the majority of your funding from?
A lot of begging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always say that our majority is from the small donations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always say, the $10, the $20, the $50. We've had a couple of grants from one we had from the fire department. And I do want to say our fire department has been with us since the
day one,
beginning.
yeah.
Oh,
Since
really?
the beginning.
Yeah.
And they help us do everything. And now with the heart screenings, they come in and they do our EKGs for us.
Yeah. They're
Oh,
paramedics.
They're
wow.
paramedics.
Yeah.
So, but most of it comes
So it
from
really
raising
is a
money.
collaboration with.
When
Yeah.
they say it takes a village, it really does.
Oh yeah.
And the Indian River State College Nurses Program helps us every year as well.
Oh wow.
They do all the vitals.
So it's the health department, the fire department, IRSC, doctors from all over the
Yeah.
state. Oh my
We
goodness.
have probably on the screening time, we have probably about 50 volunteers.
Wow.
Our machines are donated, the EKG machines, the echo
machines
machines,
are-
all our techs. Everybody donates their times. And then, of course, we pull in friends and family to help us. and,
course.
and the health department,
Yeah,
they've made it a lot easier. Because
Yeah.
our first two, we used to say, look kind of like a MASH unit type thing.
Yeah.
But having
we
it
didn't
there
like
is a
that.
big help.
Yeah, they're true partners with us. They really are.
Well, do you work? I mean, what's your background? What are you?
I run an air conditioning company full time, so.
Okay.
And this, the joke is this is my full-time, non-paying job.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the foundation has become so big, and normally it takes us about 9 months, 6 to 9 months to put the heart screening together. But in between that, we have to try to raise money.
Right.
We have to, we go and we speak a lot.
Yeah.
We've gone from, Key West all the way to Washington, and so it keeps us kind of busy.
Oh yeah.
So I always say, who would hire me? I'm always need the time off.
Yeah. We've also got some sponsorship from Panera Bread.
Right.
They do every year. They do they have for the last few years anyway. On Valentine's, they do
The
these
first
heart
2 weeks
cookies,
of February.
and they sell the heart cookies, and they give us 100% of the proceeds of that.
Oh,
so.
all
That's
over
it.
the state or
Well,
locally?
it's
or?
just the locations
Like
that are
5 stores.
Yeah, there's 5 stores.
Oh yeah, but I'm.
Yeah, that's huge.
that's
That's
still
huge. And so
decent.
what we do is our daughters do most of our social media for us.
Right.
And it's tremendous what that can do. I mean, they just get on and we just ask people, please, support us and, help us. And
Does Panera tell, if they're selling the cookies and giving the
Yep.
does it say what it's for
Right.
and
Yep,
everything?
yep,
Right.
Oh gosh, okay, because I want to make sure I go to a
Yeah,
Panera and
they-
buy
Yeah,
some hard
yeah.
cookies.
they have
Posters
some
up and-
posters, and then also we get there's those little for tips, those little boxes.
Right.
What people put their extra change in. They give us that as well.
Oh wow.
And they try to promote the event, and the hearts have like a little heartbeat through it.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
cool.
PKPs.
And then
Yeah.
they run a Like this year, we did like a social media competition. Whoever had the most postings, stuff like that. So we donated through that. We donated a defibrillator to. This year it was to a rowing
Club.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
down in,
yeah.
I think they're out of Pumps. Yeah, they're from Palm City. Yeah.
Oh,
So
good.
our foundation, we always tell, it's not just St. Lucie. We see children, at our heart screenings, we have seen children come all the way from Miami and come down as far as
Well,
Orlando.
they should. I
Yeah.
mean, oh my goodness, what an opportunity
Yeah.
because you
Healthcare.
know,
People don't have insurance.
no,
Yeah.
no.
And then if they do have insurance, a
won't-
lot of the
won't
insurance
cover
won't
that.
cover the test.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unless you're having chest pains or you know, I mean,
Right.
Well, we kind of did a calculation based on some average, and the test we do was probably average $4,500 per child. If they were actually have to pay for those.
no kidding.
Yep.
And we've found
Wow.
lots of children. Over the years, we have found
49 in total that we've had.
I was just going to ask you
Yeah.
that. So out of those screenings,
Well,
you've-
we've screened to date 1,083 kids. We've 49 kids were referred for further testing that we found some abnormalities in. We've had 4 that we
that's
know.
a large percentage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 4% of kids. Yeah.
and we've
Wow.
found other things as well, but those are
Those are heart.
Those
Right,
are just
okay.
heart-related
Right.
issues. Yeah.
Right.
we have like
I think we've had 4 that's had surgery so far.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
you've
these-
got to feel so proud of I mean, oh my goodness.
And,
you
and
know.
these are children that their parents had no idea, just like us.
Yeah.
We thought that we did the perfect job as far as the kids
Oh,
and their
sure,
health and everything.
sure.
But they had no idea that anything was wrong. And we lose a child every 3 days from sudden cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of children.
And when you say a child, what are we talking about? Up to 18?
18, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Well, when you take into account that we lose over 300,000 people a year from sudden cardiac arrest,
Right.
if you take the numbers of people who die from Alzheimer's disease, gunshot wounds, colon cancer, cervical cancer, car accidents in total, all those together,
Right.
that would be what the amount of people that die from sudden cardiac arrest. So
Really?
it is
Number one killer.
number one killer. in the
You know,
United
and
States.
you don't, nothing against cancer, of course, you know what I mean? But, if you ask most people, they would say cancer.
Well,
Absolutely.
because it's cancer is probably the most visible one because it's a terrible disease, and you go through a period of time where you're going through treatment.
Right, and all,
So,
yeah.
so
And it's out there.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
It has, you hate to say it, but it's sudden cardiac arrest, and especially sudden cardiac arrest in children. It's just the last few years you're starting to hear because athletes and, that you see on TV.
Right.
But it still doesn't get the coverage.
Yeah,
Because
That a lot of-
when it happens, it's quick.
right, right.
So it doesn't get the type of media exposure that you hear, someone that's going through cancer or something like
Right,
that. So.
right. And I'm hearing it's odd, but I've heard more of the cardiac issues with women more than you would think.
You guys get more stressed out than we do.
Yeah, we do. But I've heard that women, everybody years ago thought that women didn't have heart attacks and cardiac problems and stuff, and now that's on not only the children,
Right.
although you're bringing it to the forefront. I mean, I have to say, God bless you, because oh my goodness, I haven't. You don't hear about heart problems in children. Nobody talks about
Yeah.
that. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But obviously, with you making people aware and what your foundation and what you have done brings awareness to people. But other than you folks, I'm telling you, I haven't heard of it before.
Well, I think a lot of situations that happen to adults are probably things that were in them from they were children. And I think if they had actually done these testing at an early age,
Yeah, it would have been discovered,
it would have
and
been
then
discovered, and then we could have reduced the number of people that are dying
Right.
from sudden cardiac arrest.
absolutely. Now, do either one of you have any issues?
No.
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 Isn't that? Oh, and what about no?
No, our youngest daughter, no. And, you know, my mom, my family, my sisters, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Is it? No.
Nothing.
That-
And we find that that's very common because we're also in a national organization called
Okay.
Parent Heart Watch, and it's families like us that have lost children from sudden cardiac arrest. And a lot of them, we find out it's the same way.
Yeah, but in the screenings, we do find a lot of kids that have conditions, do have some parents or have a history in the family too.
Okay.
So
Believe it or not, we're almost out of time, but I have a couple important things. I want to find out how people can donate. But the other thing is, okay, obviously we know about the defibrillators and this screening that you're doing. If someone had a child, let's say, that needed a heart transplant or open heart surgery or something, is that something they could apply to your foundation, or you don't do that?
we don't
or
do that, but we do have resources that
that
we
you
can
could
connect them
get
to.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the doctors that we work with, they're really good, and you know, they don't turn any kids away. So
I gotcha. Now, if someone wants to donate or help you on this, I may come out next year. I'm gonna.
that would be great. That'd be
Oh
great.
no! Yeah, remember,
yeah,
I'd like
yeah.
It's
to.
incredible. Everybody who has come every year because they have no idea.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm
no
just
idea.
blown away. But if someone wants to help you on the screening day or donate, what do they do? Where do they
Well,
send their money or call or whatever?
Yeah, they can go on our website. It's
Okay.
jessicaclinton.org.
Okay.
And there's contact information there. There's a area they can donate on that, and our phone numbers are there if they need to get a hold of anyone. The
And-
email is there, so.
And we
Okay.
appreciate, what we also like to ask, if there's businesses out there that's willing to donate. There's children in our school systems that have heart conditions and need defibrillators
Yeah.
near them. So if there's companies out there, you know, that would like to sponsor an AED and donate the money,
And how much does one cost?
about $1,500.
Okay.
So, you know, we usually put like a plaque that's donated by,
Oh,
so,
okay.
so that
Okay.
people know.
It's a lot cheaper than a car, and you get a lot more mileage out of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we got businesses that can, that you'll take defibrillators, you'll take paper money, checks, whatever, and obviously you'll take people's time during the screening. And it's planned for next November, probably?
Yeah, probably early November next year.
Okay.
We're always asked to do, like, the school system wants us to do one just for their athletes. It's just a huge undertaking
Yeah.
and
Sure.
financially.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So-
And getting all the people together, it's not always as easy.
Oh, I know. Well, hats off to both of you. Keep up the great work.
Thank
I'm
you.
so sorry for your loss,
Thank
but
you.
you've turned it into something wonderful. So thank you so much.
We
you.
appreciate
Thank you for the
having us
time.
on. Thank you.